to your internet, and welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where today you get an extra side helping of barbecue. Everything barbecue, all the meat, chicken, pork, pulled pork, pork chops, steaks, hamburgers, all of it. Ain't no veggie burgers up in here. It's all the meat. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Which, of course, those of you in America know why I'm thinking that, because Labor Day is considered in America the last ditch effort to get your grilling done before fall hits. You know, but yeah, hope everybody had a good Labor Day yesterday, and I was informed that Canada celebrates Labor Day yesterday as well. So yeah, hope everybody had
Still
a good
waiting
day.
for my intro.
Waiting for your intro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, this guy over here, that's Alex.
Oh, if I could turn back time. Oh, we need to do the intro to the.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Welcome to Redneck Radio. There we go.
Sarah says, Bear, why are you share? Well, why not?
Why are you not, Share? Sharing is caring, after all.
Yeah.
Exactly. Come on. How's it going, Mr. Wing? How are we today?
Oh, I'm fine. Body shut down earlier. Well, I was talking, you know that. I was talking to you in DMs on Twitter. And I didn't get much sleep. My body woke me up at like 7 a.m. I don't have to take the grandkids to school this morning, and my body wakes up anyway. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Of course.
So, yeah, as I was talking to you, I went and laid down, and man, I think my body just totally shut off because I barely remember laying back down. And the only reason I woke back up is I got one of those robocalls planning to save me money on my credit card debt. Mm-hmm. Funny, because I don't have a credit card.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
Yeah. So
I tried for a nap today and it failed horribly. So
yeah, that's often the case with me. I was just wore to heck out.
Yeah.
And well, as you know, and I mentioned it a few streams ago, there's been some drama going on in my family, and I can't talk about it, not going to talk about it, but it flared up again last night, and it was not a good night. Very stressful. So, yeah, I was tired.
Yeah, I had some drama myself last night with a family member who's a ball bag.
Yeah.
Really is, yeah. And I was in the middle of trying to get my next video uploaded and stuff, and he was being a pest, and yeah. And I had a long conversation with my mum about it this morning. Well, early this afternoon, I think it was. And that was a bit of a conversation in itself. We weren't fighting, but she was kind of like telling me what has happened with like people I grew up with and stuff that I haven't seen in donkey's years, you know. So last night I was trying to get this like video all done and dusted, final polishes, trying to get it uploaded to YouTube and stuff like that. And my brother, who tried to call me earlier on that day, starts sending me messages on friggin' Facebook, and I've got the app on my phone, so if someone messages me, it comes up with like a little thing, you know, the little circle thing.
Yeah.
And I believe it was under the guise of trying to get to the point. He started, I keep trying to say she, because this is my brother, trans brother, who used to be my sister. Yeah. My lesbian sister who became a heterosexual man, I guess, who's now finished the transition, by the way.
Oh.
Starts DMing me. Alex, how do you do this on YouTube? How do you do that? I've seen these reaction videos. It's like, there's this guy who's like a millionaire, and I was like, is he bald? And he went, yeah. And I went, I got his blasphemous HD, and I went, and then he went, yeah. And then I'm just gonna say she, because it's too difficult. And
Yeah.
she went, yeah. And then I said, oh, he's got me blocked on Twitter because I called him out. She went, do you have to keep fighting with everybody? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, well, you need OBS and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, she's like, oh, I've got it downloaded and stuff. I was like, okay, so have you got a camera? It's like, well, no, it's crap. And I said, she's like, oh, I'll have to use my tablet. I was like, oh, talking about basically how to make reaction videos on YouTube. And I don't know how we got onto the conversation, but it got onto our ancestry. And if you've ever heard of me ever talk about my brother at length, you'll know that my sibling is obsessed with our ancestry, like delusionally so, right? And it's really annoying. It gets on my tits. Really pisses me off. You laugh, mate, but you don't know how.
No, I wasn't laughing at you. I'm sorry. I was laughing at Pat's comment.
I'll snap it's Chaz Bonner. And she's like, oh, can you get access to our sisters, my elder sister, 23andMe? And I was like, okay, I'll get you that. But, you know, like I've looked at mum's 23andMe and it's changed. I'll talk about that in a minute as well, because our 23andMe data has changed. I guess it's been narrowed down, which isn't helpful because it's even broader than it was before. And I was like, oh shit, sorry, I can't get into my elder sister's 23andMe because Chrome didn't save the password. It's like, oh, you have her ancestry. And I was like, no, I don't. It's like, yeah, you do. I was like, no, I don't. It's like, yeah, you do. I went, no, I fucking don't. I've never had an account or used the website ancestry.com. Right. And then she was going about, you're related. We're related to John Gotti. And I went, no, we're fucking not. We are not related to the Italian mafia fucking boss, John Gotti. There is not a drop of Italian in our fucking blood.
In America, by the way.
In America, yeah. Well, we actually have a lot of siblings we found out through 23andMe in America, but then none of them are John Gotti. There was even a period of when she thought we were fucking Indian royalty. I'm like, I get that we look Indian, but we ain't fucking Indian. And we certainly ain't Indian royalty. Remember I mentioned about delusions?
Yeah. All that stuff's kind of popular now, but it was really big back after the original Roots TV series came out. People got really interested in their ancestry. That's when it took off. And my father-in-law was really big into looking it up and everything. And he came to me. He says, what do you know about your family history? And I said, well, my mom's side quite a bit. My dad's side, not much, because, you know, they were in the hills and people were born at home, not in hospitals. And so, you know, good records weren't necessarily kept. I can find it out. I can find it out. And so I gave him what information I had, you know, and he come back a couple months later. He goes, you know, I couldn't figure it out. And I said, I told you, you know, down there in the hills where people are born at home, there's not necessarily a birth record, you know?
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
She wouldn't stop, but she was like basically begging me for like access to these records and stuff. And I'm like, right, I'm going to explain to you what mum's DNA says, okay, which has changed since the last time we looked at it. Yeah. Right. I'm just guessing that it's been narrowed down a bit further. So you remember when my mum first gained access to a 23andMe, right?
Right.
Many of you will remember I spoke about it on stream. I was like, oh, well, we finally figured out where the black comes from. You know, it's like Sierra Leone. And then a few months later, I look at it again and it's changed to Nigerian. I'm like, wow, Sierra Leonean evolved into Nigerian. They need a Blackstone to achieve that evolution. And I looked at it again last night and it changed again. So now my mum's genetic makeup is basically 20% Nigerian, 20%, and this is what made me laugh. She's 20% Nigerian, and 20% is a mix of Sierra Leonean, Guinean, I think that's how you say it, and Liberian. And then like the remainder of that 50% is like unknown or mixy blob, right? And then of course the rest of it is like British and Irish and French and German and a little bit of Scandinavian.
Yeah.
Basically. So yeah, I've got half of that in my body. So
yeah, the whole DNA 23andMe stuff just doesn't hold any appeal to me because I figure I'm like most Americans. I'm just a mutt. There's a little bit of everything in there.
Fuck you, Scribe.
Scribe. How you doing, Scribbles?
Ponce.
Hey.
Yeah, so I came to the conclusion that 23andMe is a lot of shit.
Yeah, like I say, it doesn't have a lot of appeal to. I get that people are interested to see where they come from, but okay, once you find that out, what you gonna do with it?
Exactly. That's what I'd like to know. What my sibling. Well, I don't know why she's so goddamn obsessed.
Yeah. I don't completely understand it because that stuff costs money, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's
so
not cheap either.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I figure I'm like most Americans, and I figure I'm just like most Americans, and I'm a mutt. A little bit of everything in there. That's the way most of us over here in America are, because that's the way our country was.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what I said. Don't know why you're so obsessed. I couldn't give a shit about my ancestry. So she's like, well, I could. I was like, why? Africa's a shithole. Nigeria is a dump. Sierra Leone is a dump. Liberia is a dump. The entirety of West Africa and probably North and East Africa. Do you know what? The whole fucking continent is a shithole.
The whole freaking continent.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There are obviously developed places like Nigeria is developing heavily at the moment, but no, it's a dump.
Yeah.
I mean, Sierra Leone is literally a dump.
I mean, if that's your thing, you do you. It just, for me personally, I just don't. I don't get it. I don't care.
I got so mad. I said to her, I said, we're British, and she went, British born, and I went, oh. I was like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, people don't want to believe me what part of my ancestry is anyway, because so many people have claimed, well, I'm part Cherokee, and I really am part Cherokee, but nobody wants to believe me because it's such a meme now. You're like, well, yeah, right, sure you are. Well, I really am. My great grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee.
West Africa may have brought us twerking, but it doesn't mean that the majority of the place is a dump. I mean, don't get me wrong, Nigeria is developing and has been developing massively for the last few years from now. The middle and the upper class are on the up and up. But, I've seen recent footage of Nigeria, and there are children wandering around in the daytime, not at school. Would you shut up, cat?
Was that your retarded cat?
Yes. They're both retarded, but that's the one I like.
You know which one I mean.
The one with slippers on her feet, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell I didn't sleep properly last night because I'm really mad. Like Vanilla Bear, in her infinite wisdom, and she's on the fucking chat, she decided yesterday morning that she was going to swap our bedrooms with the boys. Right. And like she was doing it. It took her an entire day to sort out. Right. And you swap bedrooms. It's not right. It's not right. I couldn't sleep because of it.
Yeah, I get it. I didn't sleep. Of course, a lot of it was because I was up till 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning playing 7 Days to Die, which I am getting better at, mind you.
It's quite funny watching your developments because I know about all the changes, because I played it and stuff.
Yeah.
When I know about the zombies on the roofs and the giant boars, for example, that sometimes end up on those roofs.
Yep.
Where nowhere is safe basically anymore.
Yeah, I found out the hard way the roofs are not safe anymore. I was standing on the roof. Here come a random conga line, right? You know what I mean? Conga line.
Yeah.
Come running through. It's after dark, so they're running. And so I'm just standing up there looking at them. I'm not even shooting. I'm like, okay, well, I'm safe up here. Wrong. Right up the ladder they went. But I'm getting better. I haven't finished a playthrough yet. I keep restarting, and that's what I do. I'll restart until I get the hang of something. Keep replaying the early part of it, getting used to it, getting the hang of it. So now I'm on a playthrough where I'm on day 4. I've only died 3 times, which might sound like a lot, but I was dying that much in an hour before. So yeah, I'm getting a whole lot better. And in the middle of the playthrough, my computer starts wanting to do some kind of problem. There's a file called WER something execute. It's part of the reporting system, error reporting system of Windows is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And something about Steam, it decided it didn't like it. And it takes a lot of resources when this thing goes off. And it was going off every 2 seconds and causing a new instance of it. And it got to the point where, the Big Mamas in 7 Days to Die, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Had one literally right up in my face, and every second and a half, it was minimizing the game, which is not pausing my game, by the way. I'm so like, you're going to make me die. But I survived it till I finally got it shut off. I had to reboot, and it seemed to fix whatever it was. But God, it was frustrating. But anyway, yeah, I was just up really late and then up really early, and good grief. When I did go back and lay down when I was talking to you, I just collapsed. Collapsed.
Yeah, I bet you were.
And thank you. I did want to say thank you for everybody that made an effort to show up to the premiere of Redneck Trek.
I was there.
Yep, you were, even though it was 3 hours earlier than usual. And I'm sorry about that. Had I known at the last stream on Saturday, I would have warned everybody then. But I didn't find out till like 11 o'clock on Saturday night that, yeah, we're going to have a party tomorrow. And so, like, crap. But it was a good time, even though I stood out in the sun too long and must have got pretty close to having heat exhaustion because I got really dizzy and had to go inside and lay down for a while.
Oh, yeah. VB was telling me about that. You tweeted out, didn't you?
Yeah. And then chilled and body ached the whole rest of the day. God, I felt bad. I felt terrible. But it was good because I got a lot of attention from the grandkids, especially the 2 youngest ones. It was like they were in a competition to see who could sit on Peppo's lap. Which I, of course, thoroughly enjoyed, getting all that attention from the kids.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and got to catch up with J Kid, who I haven't seen for a while.
That's good.
I guess he's decided not to cut his hair or his beard till his wedding in October. And it's getting out there.
It's getting a bit shaggy, is it?
Yeah. My dad's younger brother, my uncle, we called him Bugs. That was his nickname. He was a biker, and he looked like it. Had this great big long red beard, really long hair, just rough looking dude, right?
Yeah.
And out of the corner of my eye, seen J Kid show up, and I swore it was like a skinny version of Uncle Bugs. I was like, what the heck, man?
Is he looking a bit like Jesus these days, is he?
Oh, yeah.
Put a robe on him.
Like a really, really scrawny Jesus. But yeah, had a good time. Yeah, like Bugs Bunny bands, but we call it. I don't know where the name comes from. His real name, now mind you, this is he was an actual biker. His real name was Ambrose. That was his first name. He was a junior. He was named after his dad. Now, Ambrose is not exactly a manly man name, right?
It's not a name I've really ever heard of, full stop, really.
Yeah, his middle name was Hartford. It's Ambrose Hartford. And so he hated his name and never went by it. Most everybody called him Junior because he was a junior. But Dad started calling him Bugs when he was a little kid. And it just stuck. And so all of Dad's kids, all of us, started calling him Bugs. And then all the other cousins started calling him Bugs. And it just kind of blew up. Don't have no clue where it come from. It just fit. He was this big rough biker, but he had a heart of gold. I remember at one point he had one of those three-wheeled motorcycles with the Volkswagen engine in it. You know what I'm talking about?
Trike motorbike. The area where I grew up in, some guy had one of those and would basically drive it around the estate all the time.
And J-Kid was about, I don't know, 5, maybe 6. We were down at the cabin and he drove it up there. And he was all about J-Kid. Uncle Bugs was. He's like, can I take him for a ride? Because J-Kid was climbing all over the motorcycle while I was sitting there. And I said, yeah, but no wheelies, because the thing would pop a wheelie in a heartbeat, you know.
Yeah.
I said, just no wheelies, okay? So they take off, and he's taking off all nice and calm and everything. And, you know, a little bit later, he comes back up the road and up the driveway, and J-Kid's just grinning from ear to ear. I looked at Bugs, and I said, you popped a wheelie, didn't you? He goes, well, maybe. Wow. he was something else. Old Bugs. He's since passed on. Dad's the only one left out of his family. Oh. Out of 6 kids, he's the only one left.
He likely couldn't say no to J-Kid, you know.
Oh no, he couldn't say no to none. He couldn't say no to me, you know. I was just his regular nephew, not his great nephew.
Yeah.
You know, he never had kids of his own, him and his wife. And he spoiled all his nieces and nephews really, really bad.
That's good. That's good.
But, yeah, had a good time at the party. Sorry, there wasn't much heads up notice that I had to change the time. I could have logged in. I could have borrowed a computer at the party and logged in from there, but that just felt wrong. This was my granddaughter's day, and it felt like it would be taken away from her day. So
yeah,
it worked out all right. Worked out, and you know, I could have not been there. You know, people on Twitter say, "Well, just make your excuses and then go." And I really enjoy doing those premieres and interacting with everybody while we're all watching it together live. I enjoy that. And because I get to see if the parts that I thought were the funniest get a reaction, you know? Yeah. And it did. There's a scene towards the end of it that people were calling the pimp walk scene.
Oh yeah.
That worked out really well. And I was really glad that made people laugh.
It made me laugh.
It worked out really good. I really wanted to film them walking from the front, but the game won't let you do that. As soon as you can move the camera around to the front, but as soon as your character takes off, it swings to the back. So crap, I'll just make it work this way. So yeah, it was a good time. So was your weekend? I know it wasn't a holiday there, but
we still had. Was it bank holiday weekend in the UK? I don't know. Well, it was quiet as usual, you know. I didn't really get up to much. I mean, other than making the next video,
the
Lord Bear video, which is going to be premiering half an hour after the end of the stream. So 10 p.m. GMT, 5 EST, and it's the next Lord Bear video, and it's on 2 individuals who I've wanted to make a video on for some time now, but have left it alone for other things that have come up in between, you know.
Yeah.
Of course, there was the Amos Yee stuff, and there was a bunch of other kind of stuff I wanted to make videos on. I kept forgetting, but I finally made a video on them. And they are, I had a lot of fun making it. It's on the Slayton sisters. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
No, but I've seen a picture you posted on Twitter. They look pretty fat and unfortunate.
Yeah, it's funny because they're from your neck of the woods, Bloodwing. They're from Kentucky.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and some things they say is hard to translate. Now, I can understand you perfectly, but again, you know how to project your voice. These two don't project their voice, probably because if they did, they'd run out of breath.
Well, my accent is a mix between Kentuckian and Hoosier because, you know, my family's from Kentucky on my dad's side, but my mom's a Hoosier. Mm-hmm. And a true Kentuckian will often talk quiet and fast, mumble their words together. So
Yeah,
it's a lot like Boomhauer on King of the Hill, if you know what I mean.
I watched King of the Hill as a kid.
And by the way, I understand every word that Boomhauer says.
Mm.
uh, but yeah, it can be a little difficult if you're not used to it. If you don't have the ear for it.
Yeah. One of the sisters is louder than the other. Tammy's the quieter one and the younger sister, but she's the more. It's funny that because even though she's the quieter, she's more horrible than the other one.
Yeah.
And has a really bad attitude to like how people kind of interpret them as individuals, I suppose. And you'll see that if you watch the video. There's a stark difference in attitude between them both, which is quite odd. But they're basically Redneck Amberlynn Reeds.
Yeah.
If you know who Amberlynn Reed is.
Yeah, I think I'm aware of her. Not super familiar, but yeah, enough.
Yeah, well, you must have seen Amberlynn Reed pop up in your feed from time to time.
Yeah.
She's the faux quote unquote weight loss channel,
Right.
who has a really, really bad attitude on has gone to see like doctors and stuff, and she says that she has all these mental health problems when she clearly doesn't, because you can't be diagnosed with 4 different mental health issues in the same session, just FYI. That's just that she must have gone and seen a quack, and a bunch of other things as well.
Pat says, "How could you not? She's hard to miss, as big as she is."
Yeah, she's big.
True.
She must be 600 pounds now.
Oh yeah, don't doubt it. Joy says, "I didn't know part of Alex's new job was being a drag queen." Well, now you know. Yeah, he's out of the closet now. His new job is chief bottle washer and drag queen.
Yeah. Oh, I sent an email yesterday to my new boss, eventual boss, and I was like, any news on that background check?
Yeah.
Like, even though I know where it is right now, it's like I was trying to like hint at them is to find a way to speed it up. But it's not happening. They can't do anything until it's done. So,
well, it's probably a good thing anyway. That's what a lot of people and a lot of today's generation, but it's not just today's generation. A lot of people across the board, they make the mistake of putting in their application, getting the process started, and then forgetting about it and just wait until you hear. Mm-hmm. No, bug the crap out of them. Call them up every couple of days. Have we heard any more? Keep your name in their mind.
This isn't one of those situations.
Right. I get that, but that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, but no, I completely agree with you there. That's something that I've done plenty of times before, where I've been, applying for a job, or I've had an interview and then I've heard nothing. So I just pestered them until I find that,
Yeah, make them so sick of hearing from you that they'll hire you just to shut up, just to shut you up.
Yeah.
And it works.
It's not doing my pre-job jitters any good.
I bet.
You know me, so I'm a scenario creator, just creating scenario after scenario in my head, like. And this is the thing. I think that I'll be good at this job, right? I think I will be good at it. I think that I'll enjoy it. And I spoke to my mom about it today, and she was like, "I think this is the actual final job for you." But there is something that I have a bit of anxiety about, and it's not that I'm scared.
Right.
It's that you remember what I told you about the interview, and it was all flowers and bunnies, and then they were like, hold on, we can't lie to you. We have to be 100% honest and transparent. We've had one person die of an overdose and one person almost bleed out. Now that is enough for me to go, am I going to be good enough and switched on enough,
right,
to do the job that I need to do? Because when you work in this kind of industry, if something like that happens, your ass is going to court, whether it was your fault or not. Your ass is going to court no matter what. It's like if you're in the military, in the UK military, if you kill somebody, even if you were in the right, you still have to go to court. It's the same thing with care. Like if it gets to that point, I'm like,
Yeah.
There are so many like examples I could think of where I could be pulled up for it, man. Like what happens if I do like an hourly check or whatever it is for someone?
Yeah.
And I go and check them. I go in and talk to them. They seem happy as Larry. I walk out and I go do the rest of the checks, and then I stop and go for a poo. I get off the toilet, and by this time I've done all my checks. I've done a bit of cleaning. I've gone for a dump because I've had time, and I come out. I start my check again, and I find them dead.
Yeah. I get you. You know me. I'm not afraid of much. And I'm not afraid at all of the things that I can see other than spiders. And that's a different story. But
spiders are assholes. We can all agree on that.
Right. But I'm not afraid of, pretty much what I can say. Not afraid of people, even though I'm just a crippled old man and a toddler could probably whoop me. I'm not afraid, And we've had this discussion prior before. I have this inborn talent for projecting myself as a much bigger person than I am, and so I'm not afraid. It's the things that I can't see that I'm afraid. Like now that all my grandkids and everybody's moved out, and it's just the wife and I. The wife's gone all night at work.
Yeah.
So it's just me here all night, and the house pops and groans and makes noises, and I get freaked out by the things I can't see. So I've taken to leaving the front room light on so I can just open one eye and look and no, nobody's in there.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of being attacked by one of them.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here and pretending to be hard. I'm not afraid of being attacked, because at least then they attacked me. And even if they kick my head in, I'll be looked after afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm in the right, that they attacked me, they were off their head, and I'll go to hospital and all that kind of shit. I've been beaten up before, it's fine.
Sure.
Right?
So have I've been.
unless, right, some of these are drug addicts, right? What if one of them stabs me with a needle and that's got AIDS on it? Mind you, that stuff's treatable these days now, isn't it?
Like I said, for the most part, what I can see, I'm not afraid of. It's what I can't see that freaks me out.
Yeah.
Because then my imagination kicks in, and I've got a very active imagination.
Well, actually, Sarah mentioned something, and we're talking about fear here, for example.
Yeah.
And this is a fear that I do have. It's more of an anxiety than it is a fear, just a slight concern, if you will. Now, the place I'll be going to is temporary housing. There's 21 apartments or something like that.
Yeah.
If memory serves, I can't remember. So they would be rotating every 21 days, presumably rotating anyway. So I won't have enough time to kind of get to know them, presumably. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it might not be like that. They might just live there for a lot longer. Who knows,
Right.
And they might get extensions and stuff like that. Yeah, each one has a care plan and all that kind of stuff. But they're not. It's not like old people, when I went to go into an old person's apartment, I knew what I was doing,
right? Because
I had a clipboard and it told me what to do when I went in there. Then I'd go in and confirm it with their care plan, and them I could talk to them. With these people, these are a lot of them are going to be young adults, and they're going to want to see their friends, and they're going to want a certain level of freedom, and some of them are going to want to get lit, some of them are going to get a bit drunk or high, or both. And I've got to try and enforce the rules, and that'd be pretty interesting to see how I get on with that. Because I could rip people's head off with the best of them, but
yeah, like Kyler says, a butt whooping isn't in the world. I learned that years ago. Oh, I've been beat half to death in my time. I'm not afraid of a butt whooping. It wouldn't be the first one I've got. But
honestly, I would much rather walk into this job and get kicked half to death on the first day, than be responsible for someone's death.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you. I do. I feel you. Going back a little bit in the chat, Joy says sharks should be feared. Oh Lord, I have a story I'll tell you one time about sharks.
You have a story about everything, don't you?
I do. Well, when you live to be my age and you've lived the kind of life I've lived, you tend to collect stories, Yeah.
And guys, obviously Bloodwing will not tell you every one of his stories, and he's not going to tell me every one of his stories either.
No,
But
there's things I keep to myself.
there are some stories that he's told me that that they would make for excellent creepy pastas. I'm just saying.
Joyce says, "Oh, please tell." Well, I'll tell a real quick version of it. It was 1975. That's the year that Jaws come out, the original Jaws movie. My dad, I wanted to see it bad because I read the book. Did you know it was actually a book? Yeah, it was a book. I read the book. And I wanted to see it bad. And so I'm 15. It was R-rated, so I couldn't get it on my own. My dad decided to go ahead and take me to the indoor theater, and we watched Jaws. And so a week later, we go to Florida for the first time.
Florida.
So the whole time I'm swimming in the ocean, that movie's playing in my head. Yeah, and to make it even worse, I was talking to my dad, and he goes, "Oh, there's probably no sharks around there." And about 5 minutes later, I spot a baby shark in the surf. It's like this little foot-long thing. And I'm like, well, where there's baby sharks, there's gotta be bigger sharks. And so we were swimming later. This was at a lake, not in the ocean. And Dad I've mentioned before, he was a practical joker. And he kept kicking me under the water. I'm like, "Quit, Dad." And he goes, "It ain't me. It must be the sharks. It must be the sharks." And trying to freak me out. And he come up, he swam like a long way underwater and grabbed me and pulled me under the water and stuff. He was messing with me. So later that night, we went back to the campground we were staying at, and was talking to the owner of the campground and told him where we were swimming. He goes, he starts laughing, and he says, "Well, what's so funny?" He goes, "Well, it's okay to swim there now, but if you go now that the sun is down, and go out in a boat on that water and shine a light along the shore, you're going to see a whole lot of eyes shining back at you." He said, "That lake is full of alligators."
Alligators?
Yep.
God damn.
And there we were swimming.
Oh, man. Did I ever tell you about Rio Grande Beach in Brazil?
Probably, but me, at my age, I forget everything I hear. So it's like, I get to experience it new all over again.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure I've got early onset dementia, which doesn't help. But on my last deployment, we were heading down, down to the South Atlantic, and we stopped off in Rio Grande, Brazil, and we went. Some of me and the lads went to the beach, and some of the lads went off to go do their own thing. So it was just three of us on the sand. By the way, gorgeous beaches there, guys. Gorgeous beaches. No, wouldn't recommend Rio Grande. Rio de Janeiro though in the summer. Oh, gorgeous. Anyway, now we would jump in the waves and all that kind of stuff, as you do, just messing around in the water. And I popped my head up, and I looked to the right, down the other end of the beach, and there was a shark warning down the other end of the beach. Like, I could see everybody rushing out of the water because there was apparently a shark in. And I was like, it's just down there. That's just down there. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
I told the lads, they were like, we'll be fine. And we got back onto the sand. Then we ran back into the waves again. And as we were running towards it, as we were diving through the air, I saw like an outline of something in the water. And I started screaming "shark" as I was going into the wave. So it was "Shun!" Blam! The way, so they were like, and we all rushed back out of the water again. We don't know if it was. Saw an outline of something.
It was 1979. I moved out to Southern California for a while.
Yeah.
Was out there about 6 to 8 months. And where I live, coast of Mesa, California, is not very far from the ocean. It was like a 5-minute bicycle ride down to Newport Beach, right on the ocean. So I would often go down and sit on the beach because it was convenient.
Yeah.
And I'm out there sitting and I'm reading a book. It's February or March, which was still, for me, it was warm. They're all running around in coats and stuff. I'm in t-shirts and shorts. Are you kidding me? For where I come from, I left a foot of snow to get there, you know. But anyway, I'm sitting there and I look up from my book and I see these fins in the water.
Uh-oh.
And I'm watching these fins and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm look up and you know, they had a lifeguard sitting up on the big lifeguard chair, you know, up there, and he's not reacting. And I'm, what the heck? And I almost yell out shark.
Mm.
But before I did, I looked over and there was somebody close to me. I said, do you see those fins?
Yeah.
He goes, he just looked at me and laughed. He could tell by my accent, obviously. I wasn't from California. He goes, yeah, they're dolphins. Scared the crap out of me because there were people out there surfing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
The
oh,
rapists of the sea.
Yeah. But on that same trip to Florida, I talked about earlier. Oh, geez, and I just forgot what I was about to say. I was about to tell another story, a really quick story, but now it just went out my head. Well, it'll come back to me, I reckon, if it was important. It sucks to get old sometimes, and your brain is mush.
You have ADHD, I'm telling you.
Oh, I remember what it was. We were out there on the beach.
See?
Yeah. We were out there at the ocean again. We took a week down there, and we noticed this guy surf fishing, you know, fishing in the surf, a big old ocean pole, and he was pulling in these fish. But we noticed that before he took them off the hook, he'd smack them with a big pair of pliers. Before he took them off the hook, he was hitting the fish in the head. I'm like, what the crap? You know, and we're swimming. We're out there in the surf and everything. So we went over to see what he was catching.
Yeah.
I said, how's the fishing? Oh, it's pretty good. Not doing too bad. Got quite a few. And I said, what are you catching there? And he called them blues. I don't know really what kind of fish they were, but he called them blues. I said, oh, yeah. Well, what kind of fish is that? So he reaches over in his cooler and he shows us one, and they're about a foot to a foot and a half long and got razor sharp teeth like piranhas. That's why he's smacking them in the head before he takes them off the hook. And we had been out there waiting in the surf with these fish, and they had actually hit us in the legs. We seen them. They were schooling. We're like, wow, that's kind of cool. All these fish swimming around us.
Yeah, with razor sharp teeth.
Yeah. Oh, God. People that live on you guys are crazy, live on the ocean. Yeah, I prefer to swim in a swimming pool. That way I know what's in there with me. It's just somebody's pee, and that's about the worst of it.
Mm. You know, the first time I ever saw an actual deadly breed of the jellyfish was in Miami.
Yeah.
There were loads of them. They were all around the ship.
Yeah.
Glowing blue. The type that kill you. Yeah.
I was
yuck
surprised one time. I didn't realize that there are actually freshwater jellyfish. And there was a local lake not far from where our cabin was. And we were over there, and I see all these little dots. They were real tiny, about the size of a 50-cent piece. But they were little bitty jellyfish.
Have a good day at work, Kyler. See you later, dude.
Yep. See you, Kyler. I don't think they could hurt you, you know, but it was just odd to see the lake full of those. But oh yeah, the stories. I do have a plenty of them sometimes.
I know you do.
But you don't live to be 6 decades, dude, without collecting a few.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll actually start getting more life experiences. It's been some time, you know.
Yeah, but you're right. There's some I haven't told you or anyone else that they're just better to keep to myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Oh God. I'll tell you what though. When I was doing my research for these fatty bums, the Slayton sisters, oh boy, they've gotten up to some right scumbaggery. They really have. Yeah, I realized something, that there are several ways to get really big on YouTube. I'm obviously not doing one of them. And one of those ways, and I'm using the term big, ironically, I guess, because they're big fat. Is be a big fat woman, I guess, and be a scumbag.
A scumbag, big fat woman, huh?
Yeah, I mean, look at Amberlyn Reed, Foodie Beauty, or Foodie Booty, as I call her, and the Slayton sisters. I mean, all four of them. You know, they're all scumbags in some form or another. I mean, Amberlyn Reed is a toxic, abusive, you know, unusually arrogant gobshite. You know, you've got the Slayton sisters who have been involved in scams. A few other pretty hoofing story. In fact, I'll tell you one of their stories. Amy, who's like the main one, they started their channel together, and it was on Amy's channel. She had a date, and she met the guy in McDonald's. Shocker. And she went to a hotel with him, and he got really like high and drunk, and she got drunk and passed out asleep. And he just sat there getting high and drunk and stuff. And she woke up, and she started loving on him. Those are her words, not mine. And she tried to give him a hickey, you know, or a love bite, as it's called in the UK. And he wasn't amused by that, and he was a virgin. And she wanted to take his virginity. It's like, woman, stop trying to consume everything. You know.
Love bite, heck, she was trying to eat him.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that, because he got mad when, you know, she tried to apply the hickey.
Right.
And he had a go at her, you know, getting real mad. And so she got mad in return and actually bit him.
Ow.
Like full on bite. Yeah. And then he was like, he got up and stormed out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who's worse sometimes, though. The people that have these channels are the ones that follow them and enable them. You know, I'm like,
well, this is the thing, isn't it? Because, you know, the Slayton sisters, I mean, Amy in particular,
yeah,
they actually got really big off eating all the food. No, the first
I see what you did there.
The main channel that they started off through sharing before they fell out and then split channels, and they're fine now. But they got big off of something called the Chubby Bunny Challenge. And that was something that went viral years ago, and they've had that went like mega viral, went like over 1 million views. They've had a couple of other videos go like well over 1 million views, and that's how they got big. But since then, they've both been engaged in scumbaggery, and they don't seem to be losing subscribers, much like Amberlyn Reed and Foodie Booty. You know, they're all doing rather well for themselves, and because of the content that they do. They have a lot of ads on their videos, you know.
You're right,
and I'm fairly sure they're getting higher tier ads. You know, it's like you're earning a lot of money from YouTube, and you've got all these subscribers, and it makes me a little bit salty and a little bit sick, you know, because their videos as well, they're like filmed on phones.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So it's not as if they've got any quality to them, you know.
Exactly. I've done a few of those, and yeah, they're not exactly the highest quality. The video's not bad, but the sound quality lacks.
Well, and their videos aren't exactly high quality either.
Right.
Like the actual content of them, like never mind the camera. I could deal with the camera quality if there was something going on in the videos, but they're not. Like about, I don't know, 70% of it's dead air, you know, and the rest of it's just, hey y'all, we're going to be doing a beauty. I know. A beauty, a makeup beauty review today, and you can use our affiliate link in the description where you can go and buy us things, and people buy them things.
Yeah. Well, it makes me think of the old axiom: you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig.
Yeah. What's up, woman? Where is he? Well, if he comes down there, I'll give him a rocking. All right.
Mustafa the Savage says, "Yikes, Cher, the years have not been kind to you." Yeah, who knew that she smoked so much? You know, all those years of smoking, you know, does that to your voice.
And Amy smokes. Like, you are a big fat bitch, and you smoke like a chimney. You are
Yeah.
not going to survive for much longer. They are huge. They are
Well, that's
really,
the
really
one.
crap.
That's one of the things that concerns me. That when I do quit smoking, I'm gonna blow up because people have a tendency to replacing it with food, and I like food anyway. But anyway, on that note, I didn't quite make it an hour, which is amazing because, as you know, I went right as the stream was starting. That's one of the reasons we started a little late. But yeah, I got to go to the bathroom. I will be right back.
Shocker. So what's you need affiliate links, Alex? Why do I need affiliate links? Would be like American flag, everything, right? You know what's funny about those two as well? Like people are buying them things all the time, and sometimes that bites back. Like somebody bought Tammy and sent her something off of Amazon, and of course it was an actual metal like license plate thing, and it said like pig on it or something like that. And like those two were like looking at it, and Tammy was talking about bullying, which is the one of the most more recent infamous videos. And like Tammy is like getting really annoyed and upset by it and stuff, but like Amy sat there going, you know what, I don't care what they say, it just makes me more motivated to lose weight. And I'm like, you can see the stark difference between these two. You can see the stark difference. Like that they're both scumbags, don't get me wrong, but so how are you taking to the night part of your, you know what, Jen, if you're not going to pay attention, then I'm not going to answer your questions. Ball bag. YouTube is enabling. I wouldn't say YouTube is enabling them because it's not like YouTube. I doubt YouTube knows about them. It's more than likely their subscribers that are enabling them. It's like some of Amberlyn Reed's subscribers tried to have an exodus, but they only managed to get rid of 3,000 of them. RJ, man, Alex is turning into a dick. Well, you don't pay attention to the things that I say, you don't listen, then I'm not going to constantly repeat them over and over again, am I? I mean, I literally said, 20 minutes ago that I'm still waiting for the DBS check to finish. Sorry if I come across as a dick. I'm just not repeating myself. What's going on, Viper? What's happening? Of course, the old man is going for a tinkle at the moment. We just have to wait for his return. Still waiting for RVA DAR to respond to me too. But yes, I'm very much looking forward to premiering that video, and that'll be at 10 p.m. British time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. That's a half an hour after the show, basically. I think most of them are watching, hoping to see them keel over one day. Yeah, I think people like a good shit show. It's the reason why people watch Poverty Pool in the first place. I think most of them are watching, hoping to see them keel over one day, like how they were doing with Eugenia Cooney. Well, I think it's different because Eugenia Cooney didn't have a bad attitude, and a lot of people wanted to help Eugenia, a lot of people wanted to help Eugenia kind of overcome her issues, I mean, don't get me wrong, she had a lot of really horrible trolls, like as Bloodwing says, there's trolls and then there's evil trolls, and she had a lot of both of those, but she eventually went on and got help. I have no idea what you're all talking about. Don't worry, Joyce, it's fine. LB mukbang videos. Lord Bear mukbang videos. But yeah, the next one is like, what did I even call it? Yeah, Amy and Tammy Slayton mukbang Ragnarok.
Sorry about that. Took a little longer than I thought. And I just noticed that the chat on my dashboard for Streamlabs isn't working. I don't know why, but yeah. So if
it does that.
Yeah, if you're gonna donate, I won't be able to put your comment on the screen today. Sorry, but yeah, Lord Bell Taco Bell mukbang. Okay, I don't understand the whole mukbang thing. I don't. I don't get how that's appealing
Well, watching people eat.
to watch some fat slob stuff their face.
Well, not all mukbangs are like that, you know.
Yeah, I understand, but even that, see, I don't eat out a lot, and one of the reasons is I'm kind of a private guy, and I don't like people watching me eat. I don't like it, and I don't like watching other people eat. I don't think it's an appealing vision, you know.
It's Korean, isn't it?
Yeah.
The idea of it is a Korean thing. I remember when it first started surfacing because it first manifested itself, obviously in more like Eastern, the Far East kind of thing where it originated from, and then it's you had social eating, which became a thing on Twitch for a little bit, and then the mukbang started. And some of them are just disgusting,
Yeah.
Like some of them are just eating just tons and tons of food in one video.
Well, like I said, I personally find the vision of someone eating unappealing. I find it a bit disgusting. I don't like to watch someone eat. It's just not, eating is something that, yes, is very enjoyable, but we do because it's a necessity to survive.
Mm.
And don't get me wrong, I love to eat. I love food. I love all the food, but gosh, I really, I'm serious. I don't eat out much because one reason is I don't like the thought of people watching me eat.
Yeah.
I prefer to eat in the privacy of my own home.
Yeah, I don't know why you put it on camera, but then again, it gets views. Well, I mean, at least it used to. I don't know if it does now.
Yeah, anything for views, I guess.
I guess with the more successful ones, there's a lot of personality behind them. People obviously with people like Amber and Reed, it's a shit show. People are watching the train wreck, But I imagine there's other people out there who are a lot more gracious with their content and actually add to it other than just sitting there eating, where like they're telling a life story, like doing a story time video or something like that.
So they're talking to me with their mouth full.
Presumably, yeah. Or they're reviewing it, or they're cooking it first, so you can actually get some value out of it. I don't know.
Right. Joys of Sorrow says Bloodwing is a loud eater. I'm assuming I am these days. I wasn't naturally. I wasn't always, but now that I have very little teeth, yes, I make a lot of noise eating, and it's not because I want to. It's just, yeah, I don't have any jaw teeth to chew, so I have to chew in the front of my mouth, and that makes it very loud. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm a loud eater. I don't slap my lips or anything. Like I don't eat with my mouth open, but I am a loud eater.
Yeah. Well, I know some loud eaters. You're like, can you eat that a little quieter?
Yeah, I mean, I can't help it, dude. Like I'm just loud, but I don't smack my lips. I don't eat with my mouth open. I don't talk, with food in my mouth.
Yeah. Devil Fruit Zero says that they think that watching children eat is kind of cute and funny. So, oh yeah, children are different. I enjoy watching a kid eat because they get all in it. And my granddaughter, the one that just had her 8th birthday, ever since she was little, that kid could eat some chicken. You hand her a chicken leg and you're getting nothing back but a clean bone. I mean, nothing on it. No gristle, not a speck of meat left on that bone.
Well, she enjoys her food.
Yeah.
She's not wasting it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Watching kids eat, that's different. Yeah, I agree. It's funny to watch them eat, especially if they're enjoying what they're eating. And of course, at the birthday party, my daughter has her tradition of shoving a piece of the cake in whatever kid is the birthday in their face. She does it from the time they're 1 year old.
Yeah.
And, anyway, so it come time to shove that piece of. They had cupcakes. They had a bunch of cupcakes instead of a full cake, and shoved that cupcake, and it's all pink and purple, right? Because it's a little girl, and
yeah.
and she had it all in her hair. So she come up. My daughter says, "Give Papa a hug." And she thought I wouldn't. I sure did. I had cupcake icing all over me, but yeah.
Oh, donation.
Oh, well, thank you, Owen Harmon. You seen it a second before it popped on my screen. Thank you, Owen Harmon, for the donation for the Blood Wing Biscuits and Gravy Fund. My colleague just bought me a pack of custard creams from the UK. Alex knows what I mean.
Yay.
Well, I sure know what you
creams
mean
are
by
delicious.
biscuits and gravy, and yeah, I'm all about that.
Custard creams. They're very nice. Very, very nice. Google it.
Yeah.
Google it.
Oh, I would probably like it because I like custard.
It's not custard.
But it's called a custard cream.
Yeah, you call it biscuits and gravy when it ain't biscuits and gravy.
It is too.
No, it's not. It's not a biscuit. It's not definitely not gravy. So you also called bloody baseball the World Series. It ain't the freaking world. So shut your face.
Well, there's Canadians involved in it.
That's not the world, though, is it?
That's North America. What other part of the world is there?
Those are bloody snow Mexicans. And of course, yeah, that's the typical attitude right there. That's why everyone hates you. I'm joking.
Oh, I know why they hate us, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
Well, I mean, that's the attitude that's the reason why they hate you. But no, I don't hate you, as you know. But
I know.
Google it.
Yeah, and
stop saying yeah, and Google it.
It is gravy. It's the only gravy.
It's not gravy.
Sausage gravy is absolutely
fine. I'll Google it and then screen share because you're too lazy, right?
Yeah, I am. And I'm a boomer. I don't know how to do that stuff.
You do know how to do it. Right.
How do you internet? Well, all boomers, according to the internet, are clueless when it comes to the internet. So I'm just living up to the stereotype.
Right. There you go. Those are custard creams. You'll have to bring them up.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me flip over. Add to screen.
There you go. That's a custard cream.
Oh, it looks like a cookie.
It's a biscuit, not a cookie.
Cookie.
Cookies are spherical in nature.
No, there are square and rectangular cookies.
Why is there a scone there?
There are even butter cookies that are shaped like flowers.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's a biscuit. Those are biscuits. That's a giant one there. Bloody hell. Goes great with your cup of tea. And that's a cup of tea right there. Nice hot milk, 2 sugars. Lovely. Lovely.
You crazy Brits. I swear. Guys are weird.
No, you lot are weird. We were here first.
Well, we came from you.
Yeah.
So what's that say for you?
That we're not very good parents. PG tips. Okay, Owen. Okay.
Yeah.
I like PG tips. It's all right.
Yeah. It just looked like a big cream-filled cookie is what it looked like.
Cream-filled biscuit. I know.
Well, these days we're going to get you what we Americans call a biscuit. You'll learn. Isn't
that like a dumpling?
No, it's more in lines of a scone, although not exactly like a scone. It's a baked good.
Just say you wouldn't want gravy on a scone.
It is a baked good, a sort of bread, if you will.
Right.
But very flaky, very buttery, very delicious. I even like them cold. We'll make more biscuits when we make biscuits. We'll make far more biscuits than we'll eat in one sitting, just because we'll eat on them all day. I call them, and my grandkids call them this now because I call them Oko biscuits. I love Oko biscuits.
I'm being told in the chat that I'm being asked rather, have I seen what the Yanks call lemonade? What's wrong with your lemonade?
I don't know. It's lemonade. It's made out of lemons. It's a cold drink made out of.
Is it fizzy?
No, it's not fizzy.
Why is it not fizzy?
Because it's not.
But lemonade is supposed to be fizzy.
No, it isn't.
It's supposed to be like a fizzy pop drink.
Who told you that?
Every store in the UK that has the label lemonade across it.
Is your Kool-Aid fizzy?
Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
We don't sell Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you got some kind of
You have to buy it off the internet if you want Kool-Aid, as you know it.
Not every soft drink has to be fizzy.
But lemonade is fizzy.
No, it isn't.
Let's think of Mountain Dew, and that's sweet. Well, Mountain Dew's fizzy.
Well, yeah. Because that's a soda.
What are you talking about, woman? Yeah, lemonade in this country is a soda.
Yeah. And ours isn't. It's a lemon drink that's not fizzy. More in the lines of iced tea kind of thing.
Well, Devil Fruit Zero says about biscuits, I would call them dumplings. I wouldn't call them dumplings. They look like dumplings, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, see,
if
when
I ate one, I'd probably change my tune. But
yeah, when I think of dumplings, I think, and biscuits are used in dumplings and chicken and dumplings sometimes, but or biscuit dough. I think of like chicken and dumplings, something that's in like a stew kind of thing.
See you later, Jay. Have a good one at work, mate.
Yep. Have a good one. But it's dumplings are, I wouldn't call them a pastry, but they are a baked good. They're a type of bread. Would be the closest thing.
Right. Okay. Lindsay actually spelled lemonade correctly, which I'm happy about. I've seen a few people misspelling it in the chat. Owen says that American biscuits are, in fact, dumplings.
Yeah. Well, and it might be what you guys call dumplings.
Dumplings are delicious, especially if you get them to the point where they're nice and crunchy.
Yeah.
I don't like it when they're soft.
Oh, well, good biscuits are soft. Prosperous, they are a quick bread. Yeah, that would be a good definition. It's a quick bread. Yeah. And my grandmother, my mammy, made the best homemade biscuits. She called it Mammy Special. And every time she made some, she would make extra in a great big lump and save it for me because I would just eat the crap out of it.
American style biscuits are similar to scones, but they usually don't contain sugar. They are a type of quick bread that's made with flour, baking powder, butter, salt, and milk. We often just use biscuit dough that has a little sugar added to it and perhaps a little extra butter or heavy cream. So it's effectively a scone without the sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they do tend to be a little bit crispy on the outside, or have a crust on the outside, but very soft and flaky on the inside.
Okay, let's see what your gravy's made out of. That is not gravy for a start.
It's
that looks like lumpy jizz is what it looks like.
It's ground sausage, and you leave the grease in there because that's part of making the flour. You fry up some ground sausage, and you add milk and flour and pepper and whatever other sauces that you want until you make that. What you see there, that thick gravy.
Right. So again, it's a sauce, not a gravy.
It's gravy.
No, it's not gravy. Gravy's not sweet,
and it's delicious. It
doesn't have milk in it for a start.
Yes, it does have milk.
Right. Gravy does not have milk in it. That would be horrendous.
That gravy does. I'll argue with you till the cows come home on this.
Mate, it's not gravy. It's a sauce. It's a thick sauce.
It is the food of the gods. Is what it is. And then until you've ate it, you don't even know. I guarantee you ever get a chance to eat good old American gravy and biscuits, if they're done properly, and I can make some good gravy and biscuits.
It's definitely a sauce.
You will just take one bite and like, oh my God, where did it spend all my life? Yeah. It's wonderful. And making good sausage gravy is not easy. It's an art. There's lots of people that can't do it. They get it either too thin or too thick.
Joyce, black people in the UK are very different to your black folk. They're like, in touch with their Caribbean side.
Yeah.
Not like yours, who all want to be gangsters and shit like that.
Yeah,
they have Jamaican dishes and stuff.
Pat's right. Never argue with a Southerner about gravy. You won't win against us. That's right.
What makes you think I've given up in the argument?
It don't matter. I'll argue with you till the cows come home.
I'm going to show you what actual gravy looks like because you're obviously delusional.
No,
You
I'm
have
American.
it on a Sunday roast, right? Where with chicken or beef or something like that.
Well, that's a
Okay.
gravy too. Yeah, we put that on our mashed potatoes and
Well,
stuff.
what's in it?
Well, it could be beef stock, or there's a chicken gravy. There's chicken stock. And,
So it looks like this then, yeah. I'm sharing screen.
okay, hold on.
So it looks like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would call that brown gravy.
Brown flavor is beef, but
Well, yeah, but we call it brown gravy.
that is a disgusting looking gravy, by the way. That looks more like a curry
Yeah,
friggin' sauce than it does
we put
anything
that
else.
on our
Yeah.
mashed taters and stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we put actual gravy on mashed potato and stuff like
But
that.
that's no less a sauce than what you're telling me my gravy, sausage gravy is. It's no less a sauce. It's all
Your one's all meaty and stuff. Like it's more like a filler than it is anything else.
yeah, but it's the sausage that makes it good.
You're a bloody sausage.
Oh, you just don't know what you're missing, dude. It's heaven on a plate.
Well, send me some.
Well, I'm afraid the biscuits might dry out by the time it gets there. I'd have to send it to you in 2 packages because you wouldn't want them biscuits marinating in gravy long enough to get it over the ocean.
Well, I mean, I'll still eat it. Like,
Yeah, well, it's best eaten right after you pour it over the biscuits.
I had a PO box. I'm not having another one. They're not cheap.
Now it is very filling, and trust me, you can feel your arteries hardening as you're eating. But oh, it's so good.
You know, Owen mentions the curry sauces that you can get in chip shops over here in the UK. Because some people will have like curry sauce, and they'll just have it on what we call chips, or what you would call fries. Even though those kind of chips, you probably wouldn't want to call them fries if you saw them, because they're just too thick and sweaty, I guess. But yeah, a lot of people like it on their fries.
Yeah,
but I don't. I'm not
we
a fan
call
of
some
curry sauce.
we call some pretty thick cut fries. They might not be called French fries, but we've got what's called home fries and steak fries, and which are a much thicker cut than your average French fry.
So now, fries to me is the shit that you get at McDonald's. You know, the thin cut.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a French fry, yeah.
Anything bigger than that is a chip,
or what the French call pommes frites. But
pommes frites.
Yeah.
You mean Sochi for the second time?
Yeah. Exactly. And there's a gas station down just a couple of blocks down on the corner here that has the best chicken tenders, I guess you would call it. You know, they're not fingers, they're big pieces of chicken.
Well, no, Jen mentions wedges. Wedges are a different ball game.
And the absolute best deep fried home fries. Oh gosh, I call it. I know it's racist, but I call it Haji's because it's run by a bunch of towel heads.
I know it's racist, but it's run by a bunch of towel heads.
Well, they don't seem to like me. They're always very rude.
It's because you keep calling them towel heads.
I know I'm not to their face. I don't. Now they're really nice to my wife, and they're not Muslim. They're Sikh. They are Sikh. But oh man, I love their chicken tenders and home fries.
Yeah.
Joyce's rally fries are the best fries in the U.S. I'm not a fan of the rally. I like their loaded fries. Rally's puts this coating on the outside, a seasoned coating on the outside of their French fries. I mean, I don't hate it. I'm just not. I prefer just a plain old French fry. And I'm one of them weird people. I don't take ketchup or mayonnaise or nothing on my fries. Just salt. Thank you very much. And I'm good.
Why do you call chicken strips or chicken fillets tendies or tenders?
That's just what they're called over here.
Huh.
And I don't use the word personally in regular everyday conversation. I just use it so people understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank you, Owen Harmon, for the donation. I just wanted to shout out any recipe that has potatoes and fat. I hear you. I'm all about the potatoes. My favorite meal of all time is just good old fashioned greasy fried potatoes. I could eat them every day for every meal and not get tired of them. I love them. I love potatoes so much that I will even eat raw potatoes.
I like jacket potato.
Yeah. I like potato any way you can make it, mashed, boiled, fried in a soup. It don't matter. I like potatoes.
What do you call wedges over there?
Well, we have potato wedges.
Oh, you just call them wedges as well?
Yeah.
They usually have like the skin on them, and they're a bit. They usually add like a tiny, tiny bit of spice to them
Yeah.
most of the time.
We tend to coat them over here and deep fry them, though, just like we do everything.
Imagine my shock. You're not doing a lot for that stereotype there, brother.
Well, they're good. It's good. You want to make some good food even better? Deep fry it. I mean, come on. We have deep fried ice
You
cream.
learned that a lot from the Scottish, didn't you?
Probably. I told you before that most rednecks and hillbillies can trace their lineage back to the Scots and the Irish. Yeah.
The Scottish have a lot to answer for because they like deep frying things, like Mars bars, for example.
I think that's why we and the Scottish, like tailed feature, get along so well because there's so much. We have so much in common.
Mm.
You know, we can barely understand each other, but we get along well.
You degenerates.
I mean, come on, we deep fry ice cream, Snickers bars, pickles. Come on. Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Cheers sounds like, I think he meant share. Sounds like she got a penis finally. No, it's just too many years of smoking Marlboros. That's funny. She aggresses. How many potatoes does it take to kill an Irishman? None. Potato famine humor there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, be careful with that one, dude.
Yeah, and straight system mail is absolutely correct. We even have deep fried butter. Yep, sure do.
Have you ever had haggis?
I have not. I would try it.
I think you would enjoy it. I really like haggis myself. It's friggin' tasty.
I would try it, absolutely. But I was raised, my mother said, you never turn your nose up at any food until you at least give it a bite. Now, if you don't like it after the bite, then we're all good.
Mm.
But you give it a try. And that's probably why I'm not a picky eater. I can only think of two things that I just will not eat. I have things that I prefer not to eat if I have a choice. But if that's all there is, yeah, I'll eat it.
Haggis is odd because, well, it never looks the same if it depends on who's serving it to you. I'll share screen again. It's been
Thank
years
you,
since I've had it.
for the donation. Irate Share sounds awfully like Irate Bear. You think?
Mm. Yeah, Owen was talking about it being inside a sausage. That's what it looked like. I've never actually had it like that.
Yeah.
There is stuff inside a potato. I mean, I've had it like this, just on the side, and you know what? That's delicious.
It looks a lot like corned beef hash.
It doesn't taste anything like it, though, unfortunately. Corned beef hash is also delicious, by the way.
Oh, I love corned beef hash.
Covered in cheese.
I love corned beef hash. It smells like dog food. It looks like dog food, but God, it's delicious.
Oh yeah, it's like beef stroganoff.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like dog food, but god damn, it's delicious.
Yeah. Oh, I love stroganoff. I just love food. I love all the food. Mama Minnie's told you guys that before in the chat, and she's not lying. She has tagged you in a thing on Twitter. Do I want to look?
You does. Really you do. Not that I've seen it.
Oh, okay. It looks like it's some kind of dumpling or pastry. I don't see so good anymore, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. Well, that makes the picture looks delicious. So yeah, looks like some sort of dumpling pastry type thing. Looks good. But yeah, I apologize. That's the reason sometimes I have trouble reading your guys' chat because I don't see so good. I'm way overdue for new glasses. This prescription is like about 4 years old,
and a prostate exam.
Well, it's got nothing to do with my eyes.
Oh, I don't know about that. A doctor sticks his finger in there, you might end up tearing up a little bit.
Well, it is exit only back there. I'm telling you.
Not for much longer, it's not.
Sugargrass is it's a potato shell, mashed tater, and oh gosh, yes. Oh, and that makes me want fried potato cakes. I've been thinking about it for a while anyway, and I might make those tonight.
Fried potato cake.
Yeah, you take mashed potatoes,
Okay.
but a little drier. You make mashed potatoes, but a little bit thicker, a little drier, and you make a patty out of it, and you fry them in a skillet.
Okay.
And oh, they're wonderful.
Woman, I hope you're writing all this down. If she's still listening, I don't know.
Yeah. Jen says, yeah, some people call it croquettes. I'm a redneck.
Croquette.
We just call it tater cakes.
Oh, so that's a croquette then.
Yeah.
You can just buy those here.
Why buy it when they're so easy to make on your own?
Because I'm lazy. Although I think I prefer to make them on my own because they tend to come out a little bit dry, you know?
Yeah, John Connor, you add some egg. You got to add some egg, right? I was just being oversimplified. It's just because basically that's what it is, just fried mashed potatoes. You know, you make the mashed potatoes first, and then you add a little egg to the and whatever else you want to add to it, you know, seasonings and so forth, and fry them in a skillet like pancakes. It's good.
You're right over there.
Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. You get me talking about food, I can go all day.
Yeah, I know I did.
I love the food. All the food.
Ow. Is Owen still in the chat? I imagine he's a spam connoisseur. Or connoisseur.
Who,
Can you ever pronounce that word? Owen.
Me?
No, Owen.
Oh, I like spam. If we're talking about the food.
Well, I bet you do, yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody degenerate.
Fried spam sandwiches are to die for.
I'm not a fan of spam.
Have you tried it fried?
Well, no, I've not. No.
Well, fry it, slice it thin, fry it, put some cheese on it, and whatever condiments you like, and make a sandwich.
I swear to God, that's like America's motto, isn't it? Put some cheese on it.
What? Yeah, you got to have cheese.
Well, to be fair, I do love and I do very much enjoy cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, yeah, it's also my singular motto as well. I can talk shit all day, but we have a lot more in common than you think.
Yeah, your boy Pat says we'll fight over some spam, and they got some good flavors of spam. That bacon spam is very good, and the jalapeno spam is not bad either. But I like just regular spam. Just the other day, wife and I sliced it up in thin, and then cut those in half, and we just snacked on it all day. With some crackers. Yeah.
Sir, you are a cracker.
Not quite, but yeah. Some people would say that.
Yeah, they would, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hungry now.
I know, right? I'm sitting there making myself really hungry, and the cupboards are a little bit bare today, so it doesn't do me a whole lot of good to get hungry. I mean, I got some things to eat, but they're not the things I want.
I think there's some food I can heat up after the stream that I can just heat up in the microwave for a couple of minutes, and then I can't eat a lot in one go anymore these days thanks to the ADHD meds, but so I get hungry like maybe twice a day.
Yeah. RJ Band says they just ate 2 PB&Js. I prefer PB&Ms myself. Peanut butter and Miracle Whip. And a lot of people are going to get grossed out in the chat, but I don't care. I like them. J Kid likes them. Mom Minnie likes them. I got it from my mom.
That's right, mate. You sit there and eat your disgusting food.
I like it. I love them. Or peanut butter and pickles.
I like pickles, but I don't think I'd mix it with peanut butter.
You just take the pickle slices and put it on a peanut butter sandwich. It's good. It's good. Peanut butter and cheese.
I like pickles that are that come like pre-shredded and cut up in a jar. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
I like those. I like smothering them on ham
Yeah.
sandwiches, obviously. But I mean,
Well,
I
yeah.
could just sit there and eat both of them alone, really.
Well, I like pickles on my sandwich. I just don't tend to eat pickles on my sandwich anymore because they're hard for me to chew since I don't have much teeth. But yeah, and I like pickles just on its own. When I was a kid, Mom used to get the jar of the really big whole dill pickles, and we kids would just sit around and eat on them. And I think I've mentioned before, we'd suck the insides out. We'd sit there and suck on it till we suck the insides out of it, and then yeah, eat the skins.
There is a lot of food that I just like out of the tin. Oh, you have a super chat there.
Thank you, RVA Dar. Biscuits and gravy, fun. Hey, dude, yeah, anything helps me get biscuits and gravy, I'm all for. Yeah, and once you eat it, it sticks with. That is a meal that will stick with you. You're not hungry too quick after you eat a plate of biscuits and gravy.
This sticks to your insides, you mean?
You betcha. You
Well,
betcha it does. Uh, Polish Falcons or dill pickles, Michael Weiner's. I like all kinds of pickles. I like butter pickles. I like sweet pickles. I like dill pickles. I like all kinds of pickles.
I like eating mackerel out of the tin.
Yeah. I like mackerel. I like sardines. Packed in mustard. If I'm going to sit and just eat sardines out of the can, it has to be packed in mustard. But your boy Pat asks if I've ever drank Coke with peanuts in it. Yeah, not a huge fan, but I know a lot of people that like it. It's okay.
Coke with peanuts in it.
Yeah, you just dump some salted peanuts in your Coca-Cola.
Well, I like both of those things. So I wouldn't turn my nose up at it, but I've never thought to do that. I guess.
Yeah. Straight Sith Mail says okra. Oh man, I'm not that big a fan. If you're talking about pickled okra, I can eat okra otherwise, but pickled okra and not necessarily fan. I'll eat it, but yeah, not necessarily something I'll go out of my way to go eat and go get.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff like that. There's stuff that I will eat if I have to, but I'm not going to go out of my way. Oddly enough, hot dogs and bologna, which I think is the same meat, it's just shaped different. Not a real fan. I'll eat it if I have to. Ate hot dogs the other day at the birthday party because that's what they had, and I was hungry.
Yeah.
But
I like hot dog. Well, they're called rollovers here, but it's basically a hot dog in a bun that it's a closed bun.
Yeah.
And you shove the hot dog inside it.
Yeah.
And you just what you do is before you stick the hot dog in there, you fill it full of mustard, and then you stick the hot dog in there, and then you just wolf it down. Like the closed bun needs to be toasted though.
Well, we do something like that. You've heard of corn dogs?
I have. I've not had one for much to my disappointment.
It's just a hot dog wrapped in cornbread and with a stick.
I've seen them in movies.
Yeah.
But I don't know really what they are like, what they taste like.
They're not bad. And there's a variation in the last few years that have come out, which is sausage wrapped in a pancake. And those are really good, especially if you drizzle some syrup on it.
Mm.
Oh, they're very good.
Cryptic, for God's sake.
Thank you for the donation, Cryptic. My buns are always closed. Yeah.
Whatever you say.
I feel you.
Whatever you say, dude.
But yeah, corn dogs aren't bad. I will eat hot dogs that way. Better, quicker than I will eat them on just a bun, with ketchup and mustard or what have you.
Yeah.
But yeah, gumbo's not bad. Yeah. You don't want to ask what's in there, but it's pretty good.
I've only ever heard that once before. Gumbo Jalaya.
Yeah.
Probably mispronouncing it.
Gumbo,
What is it?
Jambalaya.
Or gumbalaya? Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a southern, really like jambalaya. Yeah. Thank you, functional. Louisiana area based kind of
Like, people are probably laughing at me, but honestly, guys, like, I don't
stew.
know. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, and different people make it different ways. It depends on who you ask on what has to be in there. But yeah, functional has the gist of it. It's a seafood and sausage stew type thing. Yeah, so there might be crawfish in there and different kinds of seafood. It just it's pretty good. It's not bad.
Oh, did somebody send me a super chat? Or a Streamlab? Sorry.
Oh, I don't know. They might have.
Give me a moment. I'm just going to have a quick gander. Woman, I'll get to your DM in a second. I don't wish to be rude. I just received an email. I don't usually get them whilst I'm streaming on these streams. So
yeah.
Okay, it's not this one. It must be the other one then. I have 2 Streamlabs, so just bear with me. You can continue to talk. It's fine.
Continue to talk. You want me to just talk? Prospero says that's gumbo, not jambalaya.
Thank you to Darwin, who threw $3. Congrats on the job from one sailor to another. Thank you very much. I don't know whether that person is watching the stream right now or picked that up from Irate Alex or whatever, but if you are here, thank you very much.
Oh, and that reminds me, I had a Streamlabs that was from Sunday after Redneck Trek, and I meant to shout that out and forgot to. It's from Michael Weiner. Thank you for that donation. Did a great episode. Keep up the good work. Love it. So
there you go.
Owen Harmon says, I'd kill for a good New England chowder. The clams just aren't the same here. Yeah, good clam chowder is not bad. I have to be in the mood for it. Clam chowder is one of them odd foods for me. If I want it, I really want it. But I have to be in the mood for it. Do what?
Shigarath, you need to stop.
Oh.
For God's sake.
The man who survived pepper spray and mustard gas is now a seasoned veteran.
Out. Come on, dude.
Don't you listen to him, Shigrath.
Go back to Wikipedia, dude, and just get them from there. Come on. Good Lord.
Yeah, I just viruses. She's like that. Would Chinese food have to be in the mood for it? Yeah, I like a good Chinese. I tend to get the same thing though all the time. I like General Tso's chicken, but I really like that, so that's what I tend to get. Although there's a local Chinese restaurant that does this meat that's kind of covered in peanut butter or peanut butter like substance, and then it's fried. Oh, that's
peanut
really
butter like substance. That sounds suspicious as hell.
Well, Chinese food in general is suspicious. I mean, come on. We're never really actually sure what's in there.
Well, yeah, of course we are. Yeah.
And I absolutely love egg drop soup. Love it.
I like duck.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Chinese food. Oh, I love dogs. Yeah, well, you eat all the dog you want. Sure, it's good.
I like getting duck dishes from Chinese takeaways, but the problem with Chinese takeaway food, well, I mean, there's a lot of problems with it, but it's super filling. So like you get full super quick, and then you get really hungry about an hour later.
Yeah.
I find.
Yeah. I mean, that's the meme. That's the trope behind Chinese food, is that you're hungry 15 minutes after you eat it, and it does tend to be true. I don't know why it doesn't stick to you, but yeah, but it's good. Some of it's really good.
Oh yeah, the duck, pretty much any of their rice dishes, I like their prawn dishes, and I really love their sesame seed prawn toast. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's lovely. Lovely.
There's a Chinese buffet not far from my house here that I've been to in quite a while. I probably should go back when we got money because I really like it. And it's run by Chinese people. In fact, the people that own it don't speak English. They have a girl that's about 14 or 15 that translate for them. She sits at the cash register. Seems to be a family affair. You know, the
Well, it
young girl.
usually is.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, not really the case. It's not really a family thing here. Well, I mean, where I live anyway. I can't speak for the entirety of the UK, but like we have a couple of Chinese places around here, and you go in, and it's usually like a white person who serves you, but there's like a Chinese person in the back, you know.
Yeah. But it's a buffet style. It's a Chinese buffet, so you can have pretty much all you can eat for
Oh,
one
I
price.
love those.
Yeah, you go in, you give them the one price, and they give you a plate, and you go.
I think one of the best all you can eats is got to be like a Chinese buffet if you can get hold of one. We went to one the day before we deployed for that 7-month deployment because we were like, well, we're gonna have crap food for the next 7 months. Other than when we stop off in places, so we need to eat as much as we possibly can. I think I maybe ate 5 dishes that day. Had about what 10 different meats.
Yeah. Thank you, Critic, for the donation. You know I work at a Chinese restaurant, right? Yes, I do know that, but I know the difference by the sound of it between Chinese and Vietnamese and what have you. But trust me, I know we think you're all the same, but I can tell the difference.
You can't.
These are definitely Chinese folks.
He's lying, by the way. Just
No, I'm not. I might not be able to tell you what it is when I hear it necessarily, but you can hear the difference.
And Lindsay mentions Indian food. I mean, Indian food, if you get it made by actual Indian people, is gorgeous. You know, if you get all the trimmings, like all the different sauces and stuff they put out, it's lovely. You know, but you can't have a chicken korma though. You have to go for something with a bit more kick. Yeah. You know.
Oh, geez, I was Joyce was asking about Vietnamese restaurants and if do you have Vietnamese restaurants over there, Bear? And are they all called pho with a different number at the end of it?
I don't think I've ever been to one myself, but it's likely that we do.
Well, it reminded me because I've mentioned it on this stream before, so you guys have probably forgot. But there's a restaurant on the way. There's a sign to a restaurant on the way to where my dad is at, to the rest home he's at, and it's called Dongs. I'm gonna take a picture of that next time I pass it, and I always forget.
And shocker, who was it? Who asked? Was it Joyce? Yeah, I just googled it, and yeah, Faux Manchester. I am Faux. Where is? I think that's also Manchester. There's a restaurant called Vietnam. These are all near-ish to me. Yeah, Me and Faux, Tam Popo, Cafe Viet, Barner Hills Restaurant, the Salt Bar, Faux Bowl, Faux Liverpool, Gurkha Dining. Gurkha Dining. What, you're gonna get stabbed to death while you're there? Saigon. There's quite the My Pho. There's a few foes, a few foes, but not all of them.
Yeah, but this, I mean, and this isn't a small sign. It's like a big billboard sign, in big letters that says "Dongs." I'm like, seriously, you guys got to know what that means to us, right? I mean, seriously, you got to know.
I don't think they care. Welcome to Shitty Walk.
I've never ate there, you know, but I just see the sign.
Order the Dong special.
I'm not sure I want to know what it is.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, faux. A lot of them have faux. I didn't realize that was some kind of meme. Mainly because I've never actually been to a Vietnamese restaurant. Owen says that there's a proper Vietnamese place in Manchester.
Now, one time at the request of a guy I worked with, because he was from Laos, I went to a Laotian restaurant, which was interesting. And the most interesting thing is he brought in. He said, they don't necessarily have candy in Laos, but what they do is they chew on sugar cane, and so he brought some in for me to try, and it's not bad. I mean, it's a little woody to chew on, but the flavor of it's not bad.
Okay.
Cryptic, thank you for the donation. Pho King Good is the best pho restaurant. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I see what you did there.
Did the Chinkies get on with the Vietnamese snake eating people?
As far as I know, I don't know.
Because don't they serve like snake in their restaurant? And they don't even strip the skin off it either. Like,
I mean, they might,
you
but
just slap the whole thing down.
rednecks eat snake too. I mean,
What is wrong with you?
Snake is considered a delicacy.
I ain't eating that. Like, I mean, I had generally like the same, like similar attitude towards you about trying different foods and stuff. And I've tried a few different things, like sheep's brains, for example. I've had lots of different seafoods before as well. But I'm not eating a snake, especially if they serve it the way it died, except a little bit cooked. I'm not eating it like that.
We rednecks will eat anything that don't eat us first, and if we can find it on the side of the road already dead, even better.
Would you eat a spider? Because that's a delicacy too, Bloodwing.
No, I would not. But that's only because
then.
that's not because it might not be good. It's because of my arachnophobia. No.
What if they chopped it up so it didn't look like a spider?
If I knew it was in there, no, I wouldn't. No, couldn't do it.
See, that phobia that you have towards spiders, which of course I also possess towards spiders, but I also have that phobia towards snakes.
Well, that sounds like my dad. My dad's afraid of snakes.
Like, don't even come near me with it.
Yeah,
just no.
Yeah,
you'll see me turn green. That's a good way to do it.
I respect snakes because we do have poisonous snakes here in Indiana. And southern Indiana has a rattlesnake hunt every year, and you'll see some 6 foot long or better rattlesnakes in southern Indiana. So yeah, and we have copperheads and cottonmouths and water moccasins, all poisonous. So I respect them, because they can't hurt me, just like I would respect a vicious dog, but I'm not afraid of it.
Yeah. The cynical Lindsay in there calling me a pussy. Bitch, what are you afraid of, huh? It says they used to eat scorpions in the Sahara. It's bloody awful. Well, that means that's good. I don't have to try that then.
Yeah. Somebody I didn't see who it was. Oh, Prospero mentioned frog legs. Frog legs are not bad. They're not good.
Yeah, no.
I've been frog gigging before. That's fun. So, you just go out there with a spear, kind of with a trident head on it, and try to spear them in the water.
I don't know if I'd try gator.
Oh, I'd try it. Sure.
You haven't had it? You haven't tried it before? I'm surprised.
I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. And it's not because it's just I've never had opportunity.
Oh, okay.
I've been offered it.
I figured that you might have had it before.
No, just never. We do have poisonous snakes here in Indiana, but one thing you probably won't find is a gator. Not unless it's in the zoo. Yeah. Yeah, I've ate turtle.
Well, you traveled around a bit.
Yeah, I have. John Connor, yeah, I've ate turtle. It's not too bad.
I wouldn't think to eat a turtle. I wouldn't want to. I mean, turtles are, they're all right, aren't they? Turtles.
Yeah,
they're good people.
Well, you evidently haven't met a snapping turtle. So,
no,
well, of course,
I doesn't
make, huh?
Yeah, I've seen a few different turtles in my time. I've actually met an African turtle before, and they are actually surprisingly quick. They never stop. Well, I mean, by their standards, running. They just dun 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 dun. They're pretty interesting. I don't think I'd want to eat one because they're cool. They're cute.
Snapping turtles are not cool. And of course, it wouldn't surprise me that you haven't, because that's pretty much a southern U.S. or, well, not southern. We have them in Indiana as well. Snapping turtles are they're jerks, and they're very dangerous jerks. They can put the hurt on you really bad.
Well, I suppose that's why they're called snapping turtles, and not friendly turtles.
Not called snapping turtles for nothing, and they can break bones.
Oh, I bet they can.
Yeah. There's a channel, and I can't remember the name of it. Some of y'all will know what I'm talking about. It's a YouTube channel, and it's a fellow that goes around and lets himself be stung and bit by different animals to show you what happens, so that you don't have to go. And he once allowed himself to be bit by a snapping turtle, and he wrapped his arm like in a bunch of foam and cardboard and all kinds of stuff before he even let it bite him, and it still darn near broke his arm. He was in serious pain, like, get it off.
Why are they so mad?
They're just, it's reflex.
Angry little.
It's a reflex. They have very sharp beaks. And if you get anything near it, like, you can take a stick. In fact, that's how people will kill a snapping turtle sometimes. You take a stick and poke it at them. They will reflexively snap it. Now, if it's not a real strong, they'll snap it plumbing too. But if you can get a stick that they won't, then you can pull their head out their shell and chop it off, and then eat it.
That's a bit grim.
Yeah, well, you got to kill it to eat it. You don't want to eat it live.
Challenge accepted. Come here. You think you're going to break my arm? I'm going to break your skull with my chompers.
But they tend to be pretty good size as far as turtle goes, Cynical Lindsay says, I saw that video, but I almost snapped my spine from cringing so hard. Yeah. I mean, good on him. He does things that I wouldn't do to show you what happens.
What channel is that? That sounds like something that I'd enjoy.
The name of it. But he'll let like different wasps sting him and ant.
Oh, why?
Hold on.
Bloodwing's dying, people.
Hope not.
Hope not. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I just got the dry throat.
Brave Wilderness is called. Okay,
yeah, that's it.
What I'll do is I'll open a new tab real quick and I will type it in. Brave Wilderness. Sounds like stupid wilderness.
He'll let different wasps. And
he let bullet ants. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stuck his arm down in a pool full of blood leeches.
Oh. That's more disgusting, if anything.
Well, his purpose is to show you what can happen if you are bitten or attacked by these things. And he's very clear, don't do this at home. I'm doing this so you don't have to, kind of thing.
But I didn't need to. What? I'm doing it so you don't have to. But
yeah, it's he's trying to prove to you that nature can be dangerous.
I know that it can be dangerous. I used to watch Steve Irwin, and I know how that ended.
Yeah. I've seen him let centipedes bite him, scorpions, just all kinds of stuff. But yeah, he let that episode where he let a bullet ant bite him. Oh my gosh, you could tell the dude was in some serious pain.
I assume that he has people who are specialized in these kind of fields with him when he's doing it.
He has a whole crew with him. Yeah.
That's good. He's got anti venoms and
I'm pretty sure on some of the episodes, depending on what he's messing with, he'll have an emergency crew on standby.
I imagine he's had to use that emergency crew a couple of times.
Believe it or not, because this almost on some ways seems the less dangerous, but when he done the leeches, he did have to, because leeches have in their saliva an anticoagulant, a blood thinner, and it would stop bleeding. he was bitten by like half a dozen at a time that
So
attached to him.
nature's equivalent of basically taking a bunch of warfarin, then.
Yeah, and it lasts for a very long time. He couldn't get the bleeding to stop, and he was starting to get a little concerned.
Well, yeah. But well, I mean, well, you know, more power to him. I hope the guy earns a lot of money to do what he does.
I'm not sure how big the channel is, but it's pretty decent size.
Let's have a look. He's 14 million, so yeah, well, nearly 15 million. So presumably he earns a good living. I mean, if he has a crew, and that, he's probably paying out for that. But
I mean,
oh, he gets decent views.
yeah, it's not just the crazy antics that he does. It is by and large a nature show. It's just that as a part of it, he will let these things bite him or what have you.
Yeah,
and he's an interesting guy. He has an interesting way of expressing himself. He's not boring by any means.
a bit like Steve Irwin was then back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, well, I loved Steve Irwin.
Yeah, we all did, really, didn't we? Like,
he was fun to watch.
The guy was a 1 in a million, you know.
Yeah, crikey. And that's the best Australian imitation you're going to get from me.
She's a beauty. You know, like that him and his family, man. Just like back in the day, it was an absolute pleasure just to watch him. You know, and yeah, he taught us all a lot about animals, a lot of respect for animals too. I mean, despite the fact that, you know, I mean, he was very similar to this guy by the sounds of it, you know, going, right, guys, we need to exercise some bloody respect for this, Sheila, because if you get too close, this is what will happen. He sticks his hand in there.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, press F for Steve, because Steve definitely deserves that respect. He was a good man. He was a lunatic.
Pretty sure this guy let a crocodile bite him, or maybe it was an alligator. It was a small one. It wasn't like a huge 15-foot gator, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Steve Irwin was like one of the many highlights of TV from my childhood, anyway.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, I miss watching Steve Irwin. Yeah.
Vipers just put it in the chat. They go, look over there. It's a 100-pound tiger. One swipe and I'm dead. I'm gonna poke it with a stick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the South Park version of Steve Irwin. Yeah, I'm going to stick my thing up his bum.
Yeah. Yeah, he was fun. He was fun to watch. But, you know, for all his crazy antics, he made nature fun for people and interesting, you know. For all his craziness and the silly things that he did, he brought nature to the forefront for an entire generation.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
It was.
I mean, I have to admit, like there must have been a fair portion of his audience who was just waiting for him to get chomped on by an alligator or a crocodile, you know.
Yeah, in my day, when I was younger, in my generation, it was the Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom was the show, and you had this old guy, I can't remember his name, that would sit back and be off camera. He was narrating it, but he always had his sidekick Jim go out, and he's the one that had to wrestle the snakes and the alligators. He always felt sorry for Jim. Jim's going to go out and try to get a closer look. Well, you knew Jim was going to get in trouble.
Jim's going to do what now? We're at that part of the show where we take questions, mate. So
yeah, we're past it, but yeah.
If you guys want to ask any questions or anything, we'll do our best to answer.
Sign of a good stream, in my opinion, when you just go off on wherever it takes you and you don't even realize that it's almost over.
Yeah. You have to give, like, even if you don't like him, as I can see Dark Angel in the chat there, who thought he was a twat, you have to give the man credit for a lot of things, you know. He opened up animal sanctuaries.
Thank you, Jim Beam. Marlon Perkins. He was the host. He was this old gray-headed fella, and he was always off camera, you know, unless there was a scene to be done with him on camera. But you always pictured him like he's behind the camera sitting in a chair while poor old Jim gets mauled.
Bless.
Yeah, Marlon Perkins. But that was the show, the nature show when I was a kid. Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Well, I mean, for me, it was, of course, Steve Irwin, you know, Crocodile Hunter. and David Attenborough was the main documentarian, still is really.
Jim Fowler, thank you, Agnostic Adrid. It was the other guy. Yes, it was. All I could remember was Jim. Oh yeah, Jack Hanna was another one. Yeah, but it wasn't until I grew up and was an adult that I realized the kind of funny connection that here is a nature show where Jim always gets in trouble that is sponsored by a life insurance company.
Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, Steve Irwin was the main animal guy for me as well, Viper. But like, I remember like him getting really big, you know, when cable and wireless was a thing in the UK. It was like,
it wasn't just kids, because I was an adult by the time Steve Irwin come around, and I thoroughly enjoyed him.
Well, yeah, my mum used to love watching him, you know. My upstairs neighbor's mum used to love watching. A lot of people used to love watching him. And the guy was a legend as well, too. Like the amount of work that he did for animals, like opening up conservations. I mean, he even did work over in Africa, opening up. I'm fairly sure he opened up a conservation for hippos. You know, obviously he'd go over to America and show off the American creepy crawlies that you guys have too. Yes, Owen says he must drop out. It's stinking cold and needs his bed. But yeah, we're about to end anyway, mate. So you have a good night, mate.
Yeah. And yes, Irwin done some questionable stuff. He done some crazy things for sure. But you can't take away that he did bring nature awareness to a generation.
Yeah.
You know, he was the Jacques Cousteau of his generation. But there's a name a lot of you probably have only heard, but I absolutely remember all the Jacques Cousteau specials.
Yeah, you have a thing from Jen there.
Yeah. Just so you know, the guys opened a new 7 Days to Die server for weekends and evenings. I believe Lope Fritz is the host, the same people from the open server there. I don't know that I'll show up. I might give it a try. I'm barely getting it to run on a solo, so I don't know how it would behave on a server with other people, because Jen, as well as it was usually me and you frozen while everybody else had fun killing everything. So yeah, might give it a try though.
There you go. Yeah, Michael, it may be a hippo conservation, but it's not big enough for the Slayton sisters.
It's not big enough.
No, they haven't got room, dude. Like, they are full up. You add those two, and I tell you what, the hippo numbers would go down.
RBA Dar says, Blood, you should have your boy Pat on when Alex is at work. And Pat has been on, and he knows there's an open invitation anytime he wants on. He has to say so. All he has to do is say so, and I'll bring him on. But with Pat, through the week he works. So, even though he does pop into our chat here, he's working.
Yeah. Devil Fruit Zero says, have I spoken English? Come on. Oh, English, Alex. Have you spoke about the Alec, I can't pronounce the guy's name, the suicide, the guy who killed himself after the accusations from Zoe Quinn. I spoke about it on Breakfast with Bear a few days ago. I've not since really spoke about it. I did want to make a video about it, but I don't think that I'm in a very good position to do so. I think it's best to leave it up to people like the Quartering, who I'm fairly sure has made at least one video about it. If not a couple. There are other people who are better positioned to do that.
Yeah. And we are now at the end.
We are.
We're at the end. It's at that time that I say thank you to all of you, as I always do every time, but I mean it when I say it. This couldn't happen without you. So thank you for your comments, your views, your shares, your likes, your retweets, all that stuff that makes sure that this channel is even able to be. It couldn't happen without you.
That's right.
And thank you, Alex, or should I say Cher, as always, for showing up. Anything you want to shout out?
Yes, in just under 30 minutes, I'll be premiering my video on the Slayton sisters. They're a pair of hippos that are not allowed onto any African conservation areas. So please, guys, come along. It's in 30 minutes' time. Bring some popcorn, and you'll probably end up throwing it up by the end. But yes, come say hello in the chat, guys. I'd really appreciate it.
That's a glowing recommendation. Show up and throw up.
Yeah, show up and throw up, folks. The video that's guaranteed to make you want to go to the gym.
As for me, be sure to tune in to Redneck Radio on its next time, which will be Thursday at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, your boy Pat, absolutely show yourself, dude. Be sure to watch my Psycho Rick channel too. Yeah, if you haven't, go. I love Psycho Rick. I don't comment a lot, but I do watch. Yeah. And also, I am in the process. Probably tonight, I'll be recording. I have half of it recorded already. I'll be recording the rest of the footage for the next episode of Redneck Track. So
get it done before the weekend.
and I promise, if it will go back to its regular time of 5:30. If that changes, I hope to get word enough to let you know by Saturday stream. So. Yeah, so that's that for me. But again, thanks everybody for coming out. And as always, get out of my yard.
Wait, don't end the stream.
Oh.
Good night, guys.
Yeehaw!